Hello, everybody. I don't have any music on for the beginning of this episode. Want to get some new music. Haven't really done it yet. I just got to put new music on my flash drive. But we're gonna crank up a little music here, get us going. I'm on my way. There's some music right there. Okay. So this is David right here. This is the White Planetary Dog, aka Jupiter James, and this is WPDKIN10. This is episode number 19. Been doing a lot of things recently. I'm just excited about life, happy, love is in my heart. And I recently got back to doing some meditation. And it's good. It's good. Like, meditation is great, maintaining your mind, maintaining your brain. And so again, no topic today. I'm just speaking my mind as I always do. I'm on my way to my job to pick up my first paycheck for only 24 hours, but that 25 hours is gonna help, pay my rent, put food in my family's mouth, until I can to what I'm manifesting in my mind comes into reality, right? And I know exactly where I want to go. I know exactly what I want my business or my businesses to accomplish. It's really financial freedom. Because once the financial freedom is achieved, then that's kind of like the beginning of everything. Then once you're financially free, you got nobody over your head except yourself. Then you can focus on dealing with this. Then you can focus on dealing with the system on a different level now, because when you're not financially free, you have to deal with the system of. You still have to deal with the system of white supremacy, racism. That is always that's never going to change, right? But you have to deal with it on kind of like a double and triple level, because you have to go out and get this money in order to live in this system. And if you don't go out and get the money, then you can't survive in this system, right? Unless you detach yourself, like I said before, unless you detach yourself from the system, become a monk or, a nun. You still got to deal with it then, but the financial thing is not too much of a problem, because money is not an issue, because you're not you're not in that system. You're not in the money system anymore. You know what I mean? You're in a monastery, which is all non-profit and things like that. So your other necessities get taken care of. But for most of us, we got a family. We got responsibilities, and we don't have the discipline to go out and be a damn monk I apologize, not damn monk, but be that wonderful monk or that nun or that preacher, right? I mean, that's only for the few. Just like this understanding and this level of thinking is only for the few, right? Not everybody will participate. Not everybody even wants to know. They are oblivious to it, and they want to be oblivious to it, because that's the reality that they see for themselves, right? Now this is very interesting, right? Because I saw how it works. Because it's all a science, but it's all the science of light and geometry, all systematically programmed, right? Because Like and I say melanated people, and when I say melanated people, I kind of look back and I think, you know what? It is everybody. No, like, pardon me again, not everybody, right? But melanin exists in everything, and everything, and pretty much everyone. Not some of the beings here. They don't have melanin. They don't have souls, right? But for the most part, we all do, and everything has melanin in it. Like even like the so-called white people, they have melanin. It's just it's a different type of melanin. It's a low potency melanin. And then you got some people that are real dark that have a high potency melanin. But that doesn't mean that their melanin is active, right? That doesn't mean that, because you can have some of the darkest people out here, but their melanin is trapped up. That switch hasn't been turned on. It's been under a lock and key. Now you got some European people, they have melanin, but they were able to tap into that melanin, into their pineal gland, and fortify it, make it more powerful, so that melanin starts producing in them again, right? And this is true. When you see light-skinned people, or I would say European people, they have the dark hair and the dark eyes. That's melanin production, right? Again, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's turned on. But that's the ability that we do all have. Because, see, I understand white supremacy, which is racism, is there. It's designed to confuse us to think everything's about color, and it's not. There is no color. And if there was a color, there's only one color, and that is the darkness. That is the only color, if you want to say anything's a color. Because everything comes out of the darkness. Everything comes out of the darkness. That is the spiritual essence. That is who we are and where we come from. Now, to know this, that our physical bodies was a creation that we created in the spiritual to manifest in this reality on this planet, or on this plane, so that we would be able to survive, to live on this earth, or on this planet. What do they call it? Is it Maldek? Is the planet Maldek? Now this planet is a different name. Maldek was a different one. But I mean, that's how you have to see, because see, the consciousness was already there. I mean, just think about it. How amazing is it that when we come into, we have the skin, and we have the hair, and we have the bone structure, but all these things are made from the universe and things of this planet, of this earth, right? It's all tied in together. That's how we're able to survive in it so easily. You know what I mean? Like, we created ourselves. We created this body. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't like some kind of just big bang that just happened for no reason at all. I mean, because everything has a reason. And we created this body. And it's already been determined what you're going to look like, how tall you're going to be, how much you're going to weigh when you come out. All that stuff has already been determined. How tall you're going to... All that's been determined, predetermined by a program that we already set in place for ourselves. It's automatic. But it was all formed through a system of questions and answers, right? And this is what I saw. A system of questions and answers. The consciousness was already there. It mixed in with the physicalness of the planet, water, and some other minerals and things like that. And then questions and answers. There's questions that were asked. And the questions that were asked, they stimulated the consciousness, and it came back in the form of an answer. And the constant questioning and answering process, that created the vibrational frequencies that formed the physical. That constant going back and forth, that's what created the vibration. They're the different vibrational frequencies. So, and the consciousness is infinite. So there's an infinite amount of questions that can be asked and an infinite amount of answers that come back. It's similar to the binary code that they use in the computers. It's just a series of questions and answers. A question goes out, an answer comes back, and in between those two is your frequency, right? Your pulse that generates the frequency, right? Kind of like with electricity too. I know I'm saying right a lot. I know my last name is Wright, so I should say right. But so you get that. But it's all a series of questions and answers, and those two together, they create the vibration. So in order to go on different vibrational frequencies, you have to get into those questions and answers that are being asked and answered, and then you move into different frequencies once you get on those levels, right? But it was all predetermined. Everything that you wanted, you already asked in your consciousness, and you got the answer. So when you came out, you already knew what you're going to look like. You already knew where you're going to be. You already knew all these things. Believe it or not, that's what it is. That's how a baby knows. Because think about it. You don't have to tell yourself how to grow or when to grow. You already know that. Your body already knows that. It's already been programmed in the system, so you just grow. Just like the tree. The tree already knows how to grow, and the tree knows how tall it's going to grow and when it's going to stop growing. And we do the same thing. Now, some people have the ability to tap into that, and then they ask a different question, and they get another answer. And then they change it, based on that. It really works just like that. It really does work like that. That's how people are able to get bigger. Or some people can get smaller, like the Ant-Man. Really, similar stuff like that. All right, pause. I gotta go get my check, so I'm gonna get my check and continue this. Pause time. 7761. 7761. All right, so I just got my check, and let's see. So what I was talking about. Let's look at this check though. So we just break it down real quick. My first check. Pay rate is $10.75 an hour. I work 25 hours, $268.75, right? Okay, so security tax, they took out $16.66. That's based off percentage. Medicare tax is $3.90, and Georgia state income tax is $4.62, right? So this is what I really kind of predicted, because I put my exemptions was 6, right? So I just did that because, again, this white lady told me this, when I work somewhere. She's like, if you put 6, they won't take out any taxes, any federal taxes, but you can always change it like during the middle of the year and maybe add a couple like $10 or something like that for them to take out, and your taxes will balance out for the whole year, right? So it's kind of a way that you can get a good pay, especially from them for the first 6 months of the year. And then you switch it up, and then so it's a way to make some extra money, and then don't have to worry about your taxes back on the back end, right? So you make some extra money first, you save it up, and then you come back, and then you let them take the taxes out, and then you also can you let them take the taxes out and stuff like that. And if you have children, you can claim them. That would be great for you. You make extra money. But a lot of people don't know that, right? A lot of people just like, oh, I'm just going to claim my exemptions, and then they take huge amounts of tax out of you, and then you're left like, oh man, But you can do that, right? You just change it up. Anyway, so they didn't take any federal state taxes out, so that's good. So I pretty much, some of the things they're always going to take out. Medicare, I don't even know. That's just something they take out that everybody pays. Social Security, everybody pays. And Georgia state income tax, you can't get around paying that. But this is the way that the system works, right? They tax you on everything. So you can never get out of the tax situation until, hell, even when you're making money yourself, if you report it, you got to pay on it, right? Only time you don't, you're doing money, you're getting paid cash. You can get away with it sometimes. Just depends on if they're watching you, and they always are watching you. But anyway, but this is good. My check was $243.57. That was from 25 hours of work. So I can just say that if I work 25 more hours, well, it will be double at the point of 40 hours, and then the overtime kicks in. So it'll be 10 hours of overtime, which you can calculate that in too as well. So, if I think about it, that's like another $200, so $400. So about $450 a week, maybe, probably grossing like almost $500 every 2 weeks, and then with the overtime, that'll probably kick in 10 hours. Will probably give you like another 180, 200. So if I can consistently get overtime, my paychecks would be like $600-700, right? Which is not bad, you know what I mean? But it's still nothing compared to what you can do if you were financially free. Because this paycheck that I got, they determine how much I get paid, not me. The only thing I can do to make more money is to work more, right? And then, that's more hours of working on me, more hours that I'm putting, on my body, which is not a problem because I'm a young, strong, person, you know what I mean? But still, that is, to me, that is an unnecessary thing. You know what I mean? That is unnecessary when you can work smarter, you know what I mean, with your mind. Like I said, you manifesting those things, right? And I know that this is coming. I know this is coming for me and for my family, because this is something that I've been manifesting, a way to make money legally and make good money and have no limits about how much I can make, right? So that's the goal, and it's coming. And when it does, you know what I mean, I can take this $10.75 job an hour and just be like, you know what? I'll see you guys later, because I just worked a week. I worked 25 hours and I got $250. But, I just went and did this job. I went and did one job. I worked for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I got paid $250 or $300. You know what I mean? Now you tell me that makes sense. You know what I mean? If I work 2 hours and get paid $250 an hour, and I just work 25 hours and I get paid $250, that's no brainer, right? Of course I'm going to take that. No doubt I'm going to take that. You know what I mean? And if I can do those jobs, and there's no limit to how many I can do. You know what I mean? If I can do 5-6 jobs a day, 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day, I work, 8 or 10 hours. That's 5 jobs I can do. Let's just say they're $200 a piece for each job. That's $1,000 I made in a day. Crazy money, right? But it's possible. It's very possible, because that's what's being done today. It's being done now by the elitists and the people who know about these things, because they put the programs in place so that they can do it. They designed the system so that they can take advantage of the system. Duh. That's what you do. Anyhow. But again, all about questions and answers, and the frequencies that's created in between those things. It is what is manifested from the spiritual down to the physical, to this physical plane. But everything is made of melanin. Everything is made of melanin in the form of light and geometry. And this is so profound to understand this. When you understand it, it opens up your mind. It opens up everything, because you can see how everything's. I've been looking at the light. I've been looking at all kind of different lights and different shapes of light and the way the light hits things, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff, like a lot of things. Things are moving, shapes moving, things in the shadows that you don't think that are there that are actually there. The stars, the plants and trees, and there's all kind of things that you see when you look And you can understand the light and how the frequencies work. Right? I mean, you can be looking at something, and if you look at it again, if you can understand that, the light frequency will change, and you'll be looking at something totally different, but it's right in front of you. And you didn't see that before, right? And this is the power or the understanding of the frequencies of light with the question and answer, the vibrational things that are going through. I know I did a show talking recently about the different light frequencies that we can see, right? And again, that is something that has to be understood and visited, so you understand these things, right? Because we got to understand exactly who we are, how we got here, right? Because we are the gods. We are the creators. We still are creating things from the spiritual into the physical world. Everything that you see was a manifestation that was manifested from the spiritual first. Everything it came in the form of geometry, which is light, and melanin. All of it. Everything. So you have to look at it and see and understand, so we have the ability to create all this stuff and create all these things. Then you have that understanding to know that there's stuff that's here, that's right in front of you, that you can't see because you aren't looking, or you're not looking, or you're not seeing, you're not feeling that vibration, that frequency that is on. I mean, that's how the way things are able to exist in the same time, in the same space, or in the same space at the same time. That's how things are. That's how things are like that. That's how it works. There's layers on top of layers on top of layers, and that's how things are created anyway. The light is bended and is folded and is bended upon itself to create that physicalness in the form of geometry, but it's all just light bending upon itself. All right, hold on. I'm on the move today. I got some stuff to do. Pausing. All right, so the whole thing is that we are alien to this planet. We didn't originate from here. That's the thing. We originated from the spiritual sense. So we always existed, and I want to say the form of man, the form of what we are. The skeletal system, and the hands and legs and the eyes. Was a manifestation it was done before. Basically, it was done before. The humanoid form is done before, so it's an old thing, and it's a known system that worked and was very it's a known system that worked, and it was just used again, pretty much. I don't really like that song. And I do apologize. My thought process has kind of been a little off right now. I just spent like an hour and a half in the pawn shop pawning stuff and getting some stuff paid for that I owed on, and it was just a long process, and I figured it would be long, but not that damn long. The lady was nice though. She just was real thorough with her shit, and she, being thorough, takes a little time sometimes. Plus, there's a lot of other people in there, so I was supposed to be at work at 12. Said I was going to be 30 minutes late, and now it's 12:38, and I still have to go and get my rent check from my rent. So I gotta go to Kroger That's going to take even longer because they're not really fast there either. So, damn, I feel like I'm not going to be to work till like, 2 o'clock. Because I got to go home and get ready. Wow. Well, I'm just going to be late today. That's all there is to it. I mean, I got to work to, what I got to work to? I got to work to 8 o'clock, 8:30. So, I'm just going to be late today. And, I mean, that's it. So, I'm just going to have to call Mr. Mario and let him know and say, hey, I got to take care of this stuff, so shit, I'm going to be late. I'm not going to be there till, I'm just going to say I'll be there at 2 o'clock because I still have to go and get this. Anyway, but it's fine, whatever, what I mean? They're not going to, like, I just started working, so. What I mean? So I'm not worried about it, I don't have any loyalty to these companies anyway. They're not loyal to you. But what is important, I gotta pay this rent and get this rent check to them before, so they won't be charging me a late fee. So that's more important to me, and it's fine. I'll be able to make up the hours anyway, so not a big deal. So let me get back focused here. I'm back focused again. Only a matter of seconds. Go like that. Put the glasses back on. Okay, so going back, so we were talking about, like I said, the question and the answers from the spiritual down to the physical, right? Like I was saying, that whole system has already been made up of how the human body is manifested from the spiritual. It's already a system or program that's already been perfected, pretty much, right? So, but the problem is, because see, everything that we create, it is perfect. It is perfect in every sense, in every way. It's a perfect perfection. It is perfect because it was created from perfection, because we are perfection. We are the gods. We are the creators. And what we create is perfect in every way. Because if it wasn't perfect in every way, it couldn't be manifested. It wouldn't be able to be created. Because that science will be flawed. But the science is not flawed. The science is perfect. But see, the problem is, or where the problem occurred is where there was an interference between the question and the answer, right? See, the interference between the question and the answer, it was you can call it a switch, you can call it a blocker. I like to call it a beta blocker because that's what it is, where you put a question. The question has been asked, right? And then the answer is coming back. But what happens when you put something in between the question, which derives a different answer, which you get a different answer? You don't get the original answer that was coming back from the universe. You get an answer that was coming back through an unnatural machine, or through an unnatural answering device, right? So I call these the beta blockers. It's similar. It's pretty much the same thing that what they do with the medication, because all the medications do is they create it's a block that they put. There's a block that goes in between your brain and then your natural reaction to it, where the medication feels that reaction and then it gives you a different response. So, like when you take aspirin, because your body has a natural reaction to germs or anything that's making your body ill. For viruses, your temperature will heat up in your body in order to kill the virus, right? I mean, that's what happens. Your body heats up so the virus can't survive in that temperature. The thermostat is turned up. So what the aspirin does, it goes in there and it puts a beta block in there to tell your brain to tell your body, the virus is gone, or don't worry about that virus, you don't have to heat up anymore. You know what I mean? Go back down to normal temperature, right? It's a blocker that goes in there, so thus you don't have a headache anymore, but the virus is still in your body. So then you got to take other antibiotics to go in there and try to find the viruses and things, whatever to destroy it. So again, you're not relying on your natural body, you're relying on something that's unnatural, mechanical, physical, right? So, but that's what's happened to the process of creation. They figured out a way, or what they inadvertently did was create a beta blocker for that. So you got children that come into the world that are born with defects. You got people that are born into the world with drug problems. You got people born in the world, with all kind of disabilities and mental retardation. And this is from the beta blockers that have been, placed upon us. I mean, you got beta blockers now where they say you can choose what color your baby is, what color their eyes, what their demeanor is going to be, all that stuff, right? Because they've been doing research and trying to, figuring this stuff out. But that's what it was, and that's what it is. They've developed these beta blockers, right? That come in and they change shit. So things don't come out naturally. And, they've tested it in plants and other animals and things like that. But that's what the problem is. That's why, people come out the way they do sometimes. Because they've been subject to those unnatural things. The natural flow has been disrupted. I mean, think about like there's a signature. Think about that signature blanket. When you go in the hospital, or when you have your baby in the hospital, they always give you that signature blanket. That little blanket that's like, whatever how many colors it is, but it's the same blanket that all the babies get. And they give them the little things for their heads and all that stuff. That's like the signature thing. Maybe that's me seeing that, but that's like, to me, that's like a psychological thing. I mean, that's what I feel. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. All the babies have that blanket, that same blanket. You know what I mean? And then they give the babies the same milk, that same formulated milk. In the hospital, they don't want you to breastfeed in the hospital. Some hospitals, they say they won't allow you to breastfeed. Crazy, right? I don't know how much time I got on this thing. I got 10 minutes in. But... oh, excuse me. That's my observation for today, so... I gotta get back on. I gotta call my people at the job, tell them I'm gonna be extremely late today. I just had to take it, but I'm gonna go to work. I gotta work. But just something to think about. Just more stuff to think about. Just something to think about. Alright, so I am heading out. Have a blessed one. Keep loving, keep understanding, keep getting better. I'm out.